The following is a fan-based narrative. Please support the official release.
Hey guys, if we reach 1,000 likes, we'll be giving out 2 of our new shirts. All you gotta do is click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Sponsor review. BronyMate is the premier dating app for bronies, where you can find plenty of like-minded individuals. You can even filter your matches down to even more specific criteria that's not just liking a children's TV show. You can go ahead and use them on the desktop or while you're in the bathroom on your smartphones. But in all seriousness, BronyMate is an app for bronies to go ahead, get together, and meet with one another. People who they know they at least have one thing in common with. So go ahead, follow the links down in the description or in the pinned comment to go to their site today and check them out. Wait, are these doors connected to the balcony? This is like the only door we ever see people come through. So are you saying people are coming through the balcony now? Because the other doors are all other rooms. And yes, there could totally be a hallway around the corner or something, but showing this just makes us realize the layout of this castle makes no sense.
She sure had a burr in her britches about something.
Oddly sexual.
What is taking her so long? Just kidding. You guys really need to look behind you once in a while.
No, she was not there on the wide shot, and I get it. It's Pinkie being Pinkie, but still, don't make it seem like she was just obviously there and we as the audience and the main stakes just simply ignored her existence.
In fact, what you're about to see may shake the very foundations of your perception for all time!
Marketing on levels of clickbait for the opening of the factory.
Gosh, Cheese hardly seems the factory type. I just assumed he'd continue to wander Equestria throwing parties.
Because that certainly pays the bills.
I can't wait to tour his factory, catch up, have him tell me my life's purpose, swap gag tips.
Whoa, what did you say?
So, are we doing another Pinkie doesn't know her purpose thing? Because we've done this quite a few times. Also, what's the point of a cutie mark if it doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do? I thought that was the whole thing. It's what you're best at, it's what you usually go into for work, and so what's going on here?
But then I realized Cheese Sandwich is a party pony just like me. If he figured out his purpose, he can help me figure out mine.
You could grow up, start by not being literally hated by all your friends.
Are you sure this is edible?
I am not.
A mental disorder is treated as a joke by her friends, instead of the obvious cry for help that it is.
My little pony, my little...
Skip, because these videos get claimed otherwise. In case you guys were ever curious as to why we actually started sending that.
Yep, any pony with a smile like that is exactly the kind of pony I want helping me.
Yes, this literal prison with the pictures of the smiling dictator looks like it's ripped straight out of a 1984 novel, yet is completely ignored by Pinkie and the rest of the people.
Oh, hey guys! Pardon me, just gonna squeeze by. Oh, yeah.
Cheese was originally supposed to be a happy person and happy-go-lucky, so why did he opt to get these giant castle walls and gray structure?
Cheese Sandwich doesn't see any pony.
This factory is shut tight.
To think I came all this way because of this personal invitation from Cheese Sandwich himself.
You have an invitation?
Cheese sent invites, and yet the guards don't even bother to ask to see it, despite them being well aware that it is something that he does.
Next time I get to push a button.
Wow, what an annoying sound, considering this looks like this is the only way to get in or out, and unless you're having employees all come in and go at the same time, you're going to hear this a lot throughout the day.
This should have gotten a big laugh.
Rolling out the carpet in of itself isn't really a joke, and appearing as Cheese Sandwich isn't a joke either. At most, it's a reference to Willy Wonka, which doesn't exist in this world unless it does, which raises a whole bunch of other questions. That being said, references in of themselves still are not jokes.
I'm so happy to see you.
And Jesus Christ, the mask blinks. I get it, he has the same green eyes as Cheese, but he definitely doesn't have the same skin color. And this blinks like it's Cheese's skin.
Vice President of Amusement Integration. Mr. Sandwich is very excited you're here.
So is magic always this loud? Because boy, would that also get annoying to listen to constantly. Maybe it's just me noticing it for the first time, but oh my god, I couldn't live like that.
Wow! A whole factory dedicated to gags! Oh, I bet this is the funnest place ever! Huh.
Pinkie is a fun-loving girl, but her naiveness goes beyond what is plausible or even funny and dips right into the annoyance territory, which seems to be the modus operandi for writers doing Pinkie this season.
Oh, what if the flower was part of a shirt, but the flower didn't squirt? The shirt did!
That is literally the funniest thing I've ever heard.
All these ideas ridiculous and impossible. That is all kinds of OSHA regulations being violated. How many people are now getting workers' comp for broken legs and arms or just everything?
Right. Why don't we continue this discussion over some delicious canned peanut brittle?
Not laughing at jokes so cliche they were outdated when they came out isn't really a sign of not being able to laugh.
Point all those smiling faces? Luckily, Sans Smirk came to me with the idea for a factory. A gag factory.
He just found you? Well, that's not ominous or anything.
Get there!
Torture is comedy.
Give me your biggest, bestest smile!
Am I doing it?
I thought he lost his laugh, not his ability to smile.
If we figure out the funny of one gag, we can combine it with the funny of another gag and make a third, funnier gag.
Isn't a pie on a spring like not really a new gag? It too is rather cliche. A very practical thing for anyone with a water pipe directly under their doormats. Well, that's just breaking the laws of physics.
Nothing brought Mr. Sandwich more pleasure than seeing the laughter his gags brought to Pony's first hoof.
Yes, that!
Something incredibly obvious, but took the element of laughter this long.
I'm sorry, but when you swapped the letters of those words, it was just a bit...
Funny?
Uh-huh.
So you're saying it's a mix-up?
Okay, well, what an abrupt song and resolution.
Hey, Sans! How did the laughing bird's eggs hatch?
I've let it go. But I mean, it sounds like he's saying Sans, right? I'm not the only one hearing. And if his name actually is Sans, then I don't even know what to say about that.
It's my life's purpose!
Hey, that's what I came here looking for!
You did? Well, come on! Let's figure it out!
Actually, I think I'm good.
So it's literally what she already knew. Again, we've learned this lesson for her. We've seen her go through this who am I routine multiple times already, all throughout the years.
And Cheese Sandwich just left his own factory? Yep, but I think Salt Smirk's hooves were the perfect ones to leave it in.
So are we doing this again? Where the moral is spelled out for everyone because you think everyone is just a child? Despite even your targeted demographic being well able to grasp the subtle nuances of a story in order to glean their own moral from it.